And alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video on the self-developed YouTube channel, you beautiful people. Hopefully you guys are all having an amazing day wherever you are in this world. Here I'm in Canada and it is snowing outside, or it has snowed. It's actually quite beautiful. First snowfall of the entire year. Yeah, well, if you count January, whatever. But it's fantastic. As always guys, comment down below where are you from, what time is it, and hashtag self-developed army. So guys, in today's video, bit of a deeper one, a little bit of a calmer one. This is something that has been resonating with me. I don't know if resonating is the right word, but it's something that has been, dawning on my awareness the past few weeks in particular, but about the past year or so. And I think now I've come to enough of a grip to be able to see it objectively and explain it to you guys in a video. So guys, this is, or what I titled this video, the dark side of masculinity. Okay, now I made a video, if I remember, I'll link it up here, I think a week or two ago, titled Master Your Dark Side, right? Now in that video, that dark side is much different than this dark side. That dark side was a progressive, controlled dark side, right? Like I said beforehand, Mace Windu, he mastered both the light and the dark. And I said, don't let the dark abuse you. Use it. Do you understand? So in a healthy manner, using your dark side is terrific. I mean, that is what masculinity is, right? But this video is explaining kind of like that, what happens when it uses you. What happens when you become a Sith Lord? You are completely infatuated and taken over by the dark side. You are possessed, essentially. And like I referenced in that video, Star Wars, you become just that, a Sith Lord. You kill anything in your sight, and you destroy anything you love. If you guys know the movie Star Wars, Anakin, who turns into Darth Vader, he kills his, I hate that I'm ruining this for you guys, but he kills his beloved, right, or people very close to him because he was consumed by the dark, and he realizes it afterwards, like, how much he'd fucked up. But that's what the dark side can do. It will lie to you. It's literally like a demon possessing you. And that's what I want to speak of in this video, because all men will go through this. I am going through this to a certain extent, and we just need to be aware of it, all right? So let me dive deeper, okay? What exactly is the dark side of masculinity, okay? Now, I love how I used the Star Wars analogy in that last movie. In life, there is a yin and there's a yang, okay? There's a light and there's a dark. And beautiful, pure masculinity is right in the middle, or it's able to harness both the dark and the light. But it ultimately comes back to the middle path. Do you understand? It is not too far leaning to one side, or at least if it is, like I said, it will revert back to a more balanced approach. True generative masculinity will never completely stay in one area. And that's because extremes are rarely ever resourceful to men, right? Long term, right? So being a fully integrated man, like I've alluded to and said many times, is using both sides. The dark being your aggression, being your no, setting boundaries, your decisiveness, your sword, right? Just fucking things up and really moving forward in life. But then your light being compassion, love, empathy, trust. That's the biggest one, trust. And this is the side, if we lose this, we're going to call this, for the sake of this video, the feminine side of masculinity. There's a masculine side, there's a feminine side. Right? I'm not making this up, this is fact. But very few people in the red pill or self-development community will ever speak about the feminine side. And for a long time, I didn't understand what the feminine side of masculinity was. This is primarily what this video is about. Because I had a very wounded feminine side, because for the past year and a half being in this condo, I was reverting completely to the dark, the masculine, which is okay, but not if you stay there forever. That's when it becomes toxic. It's kind of like drinking in moderation. It's okay, but when you drink every single day and it becomes an addiction, now it is toxic. That's what toxic masculinity is. So I'm gonna let me just bring everything full circle. The feminine side to masculinity, or the light, right? This is seeing the good in people. This is trusting. This is compassion. This is being empathetic, Really, though, this is your ability to let go and trust. And that really comes down to trusting God and yourself, right? There's a feminine side, there's a yin side to masculinity. Why do I say this? Because let's now explain what is the dark side of masculinity, or not the dark side, but what is the masculine side, which can become dark. Either can become dark. If you have too much light, it'll fuck you up. If you have too much dark, it'll fuck you up. The dark side, this is complete self-reliance. This is willpower. This is discipline. This is, I'm going to do it. I don't need anyone else. You're just think of like a bulldozer or just like a fucking tractor, just like a guy with machetes in a forest, just like fucking chopping down every tree he can, right? There are pros to this. We need this. This is vital and essential. This is one of the biggest traits we as men lack in our society. This is what I lacked, right? We're all completely unbalanced. But if you revert to this and only this, you completely lose your connection to God. A lot of times you lose your connection to trust in ourselves, in people, in the higher nature, whatever name you want to give it. There is no trust. You become closed and cold, and think of it like what happens when you don't trust anybody. You have this invisible armor around you 24/7. You always have your swords out, and anyone that tries to enter your domain, you just completely lash out. It's kind of like if you were heartbroken. Anytime a new girl comes into play, or you begin to enter a new relationship, you're still closed, and there really is this no trust. And of course, for obvious reasons, that can be very destructive. Now, like I was saying, I have been, this past year and a half, I've been all over the place. Really, though, I have been completely and utterly in the dark, and I've seen the pros of that. I've seen massive downsides, and it's so beautiful. I'm so happy I'm making this video because yesterday, I know this may seem unrelated, but I was watching in depth The Hero's Call to Adventure, the depiction. Okay, I recommend you guys search this up. And I believe there are, I want to say 12 stages, either 12 or 8 stages, we'll say. I'm actually going to pull it up right here because I took a screenshot of it. It was beautiful and it was so applicable to my life. Yes, so there are 12 stages, just like a clock, right? 12, the number 12 is very symbolic. And in this Hero's Call to Adventure, right, to reiterate it quickly, there's a normal world and a special world, right? Me being in this condo, right, the second I got to this condo, there was the call to adventure. I'm just gonna explain them quick to you guys. Number 1, the call to adventure. This was me moving out, right? My family was moving into their own house. I was growing the YouTube channel and I had enough funds and I wanted to move out to my own place. So that was the call. That was the yearning, right? I need to split away from the normal world, right? This is what it is. Relate it in your own life. Split away from comfort. Frodo Baggins leaving Hobbit right? Or the Shire, I should say. Or Harry Potter leaving his home village. Or Katniss Everdeen. These are the examples they used. Leaving her town, right? Her small village. Number 2, you have assistance, okay? Now this was beautiful. I applied for a credit card one day and my banker just happened to live at the exact condo I wanted. He had the numbers that I needed to contact. There was one unit left, which was this one out of the entire building. So there's assistance, there's supernatural aid, always, right? So God wanted me to be in this condo. God wants you to move out. There's reasons for this, okay? Number 3, departure. I moved, right? It happened. I'm here. Life is now locking the door. You're just about to leave. Yes, you are just leaving now the normal world. The door is locked. There's no going back, right? What I'm about to explain is how I came into grips with the dark side and how I'm now trying to come back out more balanced. Number 4, trials. Man, the second I got here within a couple weeks, life just began hammering me. Holy shit, with just insecurities that were coming up, all these problems and issues, and it's not necessarily anything wrong with this condo, but it's very spiritual. There's a spiritual warfare going on. You need to understand that. And I just went through all these trials back to back to back. It was ridiculous. And then number 5, they write down approach. And from what I'm aware, this is your biggest demon. This is your biggest challenge. And I remember being in here and just having fucking sleepless nights. I remember tearing up sometimes thinking like, why the fuck did I move here? It was a living hell. I had so many issues in this building with just people and just old limiting beliefs and scenarios and like a bunch of shit. And I remember vividly wanting to go home, like wanting to quit. I was like, fuck this, I'm out. I stayed. And this leads to number 6, which is crisis, right? This is the death and rebirth. This is right at the bottom, your darkest hour. And instead of going home, right? Instead of you guys going home, I had to find the tools necessary to survive. The dark side. That is when I learned what real masculinity is. For the first time in my life, I evolved. This is death and rebirth. Number 7, treasure, right? So this is, what did you learn? The gift. I have the gift. I have the gift. This is setting boundaries. This is owning my frame. This is telling people to fuck off and say no hundreds of times, right? Just owning my frame as a man. So that was the treasure. I am now in the next levels, which is result, return, new life. Okay? I'm on the uphill, coming back to the normal world. Why do I say all of this? The reason I tell you guys this is because I, as well as you guys, when you go through that trial, right, the crisis, the big attack, and you die and are reborn, you find the treasure, right? It is now time to bring that treasure back home. Very important. That's what the hero's call to adventure is, to come back to the normal world with that treasure for yourself, for society, for humans, right? Humanity. You think of every movie, the hero doesn't just succeed for himself, he succeeds for the entire world, right? Frodo Baggins, Harry Potter, Katniss Everdeen, all of these movies, you can think of whatever it is, right? This is what makes them come back as a hero. I am now, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty intuitive with this stuff. God wants me to come back to the normal world, and that is the realm of order, balance. In the actual depiction, it is status quo, right? You're back to normal, normality, humanity, but with a new perspective. Do you understand? So I'm on the road to coming back, and what does that look like in my life? That comes back to mastering and balancing what masculinity truly means to myself, right? Objectively, to all of us. I started off nice and fresh on the light side, and through this year and a half being in this condo, it slowly brought me crisis, holy fuck, death and rebirth, right? Found the treasure. What does masculinity in its purest form, most raw form actually mean? Now that I've acquired it, you don't ever just stay to one extreme like I've made very clear. You come back, do you understand? To the normal world, to share the gift with myself and all of you guys. That's exactly what I'm doing here. I wouldn't have been able to make this video even a few months ago. I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand. When you're in the thick of it, the belly of the whale, it's too blurry. It's only once you begin to connect the dots looking backwards, I can see now. And I'm telling you guys, in this video, the dark side of masculinity is staying in that cave. You have to get out. You are not meant to be there forever. You're meant to gather the treasure, right? The work ethic, the drive, maybe the relationship, whatever it is for you, right? It's all internal. And bring it back to humanity. You have to. And you've then completed your hero's call to adventure. And then it'll go again. It goes many times in life. We enter many cycles, right? Many times. And this condo has been such a beautiful example, now I'm looking back in hindsight, of this hero's call to adventure. It's been beautiful. It was so tumultuous, but it was beautiful. And so I'm making this video. So guys, that is it. I know this was definitely more of a philosophical, very philosophical, personal video. I don't make this because I'm the coolest guy or only take my advice. No, I say this because I want you to apply this to your life, your hero's call to adventure. But really in this context of this video, my hero's call to adventure was finding what masculinity was, like an orb, the treasure. That's what it was. Masculinity was at the bottom of a cave, and I had to dig and go through all these trials to find it, but now bring it back home. You don't just grab it to stay in the cave. Otherwise, you haven't really, received the treasure. Let's bring it back home. Come back to balance, order, but with a new perspective. We are kings. We have grown, right? But this is such an important video. Masculinity is a combination of both. In this condo, I had to find what one of them was to ultimately then integrate them back. And that's where I'm at right now. I am learning and coming back to the normal world, which is integration, right? I haven't felt light in almost a year. I've never been more pessimistic and just warrior in my entire life. And it's helped for the time being, but you'll kill yourself. That's the dark side of masculinity. That's what becoming a Sith Lord is. They hate their lives. Darth Vader hated his life, right? And if you read the comics and stuff, you know this. When he was on his, he wasn't doing too well, he was aware of this. Do not be consumed just by the dark, because it will kill you, and it will kill everything you've ever loved. It's not worth it. Find the dark, come back to the light, and merge. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. I love you all. Thank you guys for listening to this. Thank you for being on this journey with me, guys. I'm so fucking thankful that I was able to document this so I can look back, you can look back, and I want you to go on your hero's call to adventure. I want this video to inspire that for you, that you're going to be okay and you will come full circle. I know a lot of you guys are in the crisis moment, right? Go search up the hero's call to adventure. Search up the different depictions of it. You will find the treasure, and you will come back to the normal world with that treasure to serve humanity. Okay? Maybe you already have, right? So that is it, guys. I'll finish it here on the final plugs. If you guys would like to work with me on a personal level at anything of what we talked about here, mastering your hero's call to adventure, right? Maybe you'd like a mentor or help on this journey, then there is always one-on-one coaching. We have group coaching, which is the workshop. You can check the one coming up of December, guys. Literally in less than a week. We go live this Sunday, guys. It's 4 one-hour calls with myself and a small group of men. It's 20% off. Go check that out down below. And finally, the cheapest option, the self-development course, which is passive, it's online. It will give you all the tools necessary to conquer your hero's call to adventure. We speak everything on improving your fitness, nutrition, intermittent fasting, no fat, meditation, cold showers, early rising, increasing your masculinity, finding your passions, turning it into a business, and improving your relationships. All right, guys, you can go download that free half-an-hour version down below to get yourself a teaser, and I'll finish it there. You guys can support Edge, coupon code Hammond. Let's go. This is their black cutoff tank. Feeling like a ninja in this bish. I am learning to come back to middle ground, to not always be so angry and have my swords. That's out of fear. That's being consumed by the dark. You cannot be consumed. You use it. You do not become consumed, though. I'm working back on the relax, the trusting in oneself, in God, and becoming an integrated man again, because that is where real, pure, potent, powerful masculinity lies. And that's where we're all headed. All right? So thank you guys. Have an amazing day. I love you all. Go download that workshop. I would love to coach you guys. And I'll finish it there. Till then, much love. Peace.